it funny that they all say they're the most interesting people on earth, comedians, and they all have the exact same conversation with each other? The rooms and everything. Boring. Comedy's the most boring thing in the world. It's so funny. You'd think it would be, you know, with these two sitting down, you'd think it'd be a totally different thing, but it's just, I don't know what I was expecting. Give it up for Very Good Clips. Go subscribe to them. They're making money now.
My chain. My chain. My chain. Don't you like my chain?
I don't know if anybody saw this, but Woody Allen.
I know a lot of people who need to hire someone great, but
Woody
hate
Allen
the interview process more
went
than they hate
on,
their
and you
ex.
hear his voice already.
Guess what? ZipRecruiter has cracked the code.
You know what it
Their
is.
resume database lets you actually find
Woody
the good
Allen
ones
went on Club
fast.
Random finally.
No more resume
But
roulette.
we're gonna get into it.
Want to contact someone great? Easy. You can unlock their info. Club means fast audio marketing.
Ladies, what do we think of this shirt that says Ray on it? It stinks, huh?
Yeah. People than sold a well-funded 7-5 strategy.
You know, it's probably going to happen.
Okay.
Now,
I could direct him.
what I love about this interview is very rarely do you see two satanic vampires who get to talk shop a little bit about sucking blood, about being pedophiles, worshiping ancient Canaanite deities. There's nothing better, right? They got a lot in common, these two bloodsuckers, these two parasites, these two bugs, these two pedophiles. These are pedophiles. These are people that want to have sex with children and do have sex with children and get away with it. You've never heard Woody Allen speak. Yeah, it's very deli. All right.
Oh.
If he would let me, if he would let me direct him now that he's president.
He talks like the caricature of a Jew.
I have returned.
Racist.
Like MacArthur.
And he's anti-Semite comedians, you know. He has the exact voice.
To find a great man. A great man is in my...
He's not a great man. If you know anything about the case at all, he molested Dylan. The prosecution themselves said there was enough sufficient evidence to do something about this with him and Dylan, and they backed off. This is in right here. I'll show you, actually. You think I'm telling tales out of school? You think I'd lie to you? You think I'd lie to you? Do you really? You think I'd lie? Give me one. Here we go. Here we are. Remembered exactly where it was. Author and e-zine editor Robert Sterling has written of what he refers to as a pattern of trivialization of child molestation evidence that seems to characterize high-profile media stories. He points out, for instance, that in the highly publicized Woody Allen and Mia Farrow child custody case, all the attention was focused on Allen's illicit romance with Suni Previn. Almost entirely ignored in the... Where was I? Almost entirely ignored in the media coverage was the fact that Allen was also charged with molesting his own 7-year-old adopted daughter. Farrow is absolutely insane. This is not evidence that Woody Allen did not molest his own daughter. This is a total ad hominem. If someone was accused of molesting their own daughter, you want to go, yeah, but the wife's nuts. What does that have to do with anything? There's no false memories here. If you're into the false memory syndrome foundation stuff, Mig Martin preschool stuff right now, go stick your head in sand. Stick your head in sand. Put your face in a rock tumbler. Almost entirely ignored in the media coverage was the fact that Allen was also charged with molesting his own 7-year-old adopted daughter, Dylan. While the press dismissed those allegations as unfounded and unworthy of reporting, Sterling notes that, and this is in quotations, ready? It's quotations here. Connecticut state authorities, based on the testimony of Dylan and others, have stated that they do believe Woody did molest her, but decided not to prosecute anyway, allegedly to spare the child any further trauma. Now, let's see. What does Bill say here? What does Bill say?
To find a great
okay.
great man is in my...
Hey, now, careful. You're shaking that's his molesting hand, Bill. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary, but the things he did to Dylan in that attic were, he didn't just use his hands. He's a sick fuck. He's a sick, disgusting fuck. He needs to be put under the dirt.
We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you.
What the hell?
No two ways about it.
He's a disgusting piece of shit. This isn't a Me Too thing. This is just a legality thing of you're a pedophile. You need to be hung from a very long rope from, a building of your choosing. How about we hang you from the brownstone of Epstein, the dinner parties he used to go to? He's hung out with many pedophiles. He knew all the big pedophiles in the business. Knew them all. Actually, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is actually pretty funny. The Woody Allen letter describing Epstein's home as Castle Dracula alongside Ghislaine's weird art collection really feels like stuff designed to drive us crazy. So Woody Allen wrote this was him after having dinner with the Epsteins. Being neighbors, my wife Sunyi and I have been invited for dinner many times, always accept, always interesting. So he says he always accepts going to dinner with Jeffrey Epstein. Clear, Satanist mega group. Jewish vampire pedophiles. Politicians, scientists, teachers, magicians, comedians, intellectuals, journalists, an entomologist, a concert pianist. Anyhow, it's always interesting, and the food is sumptuous and abundant. Lots of dishes, plenty of choices by some professional housemen. Now, I noticed this with his typewriter. It seems that he doesn't double space, which makes it very difficult to read. And I think this is a small typewriter, which usually writers never, and I've been to typewriter repair shops, writers never want the small typewriters. They always want the big type. The Olivetti usually carries the big type. I have a brother. I have a Japanese little typewriter that I also gave to my daughter. It's metal and it's very loud and she loves banging away on it. But that's a small type one and it's difficult to read, and he should do double spacing here. I don't, but he probably wants to save money on the paper because, Anyway, I say it's always interesting, and the food is sumptuous and abundant. Lots of dishes, plenty of choices, numerous desserts, well-deserved. I may say well-served. Often it's by some professional housemen, and just as often by several young women. Remding one of Castle Dracula, where Lugosi has 3 young female vampires who service the place. Add to this nothing. He kept going because it's free dinner and he's around money. It's kind of funny. Add to this that Jeffrey lives in a vast house alone. One can picture him sleeping in damp earth. It's like Nosferatu. But back to the food. Dependably a fine dinner, but this was not always the case. In fact, the first time we came over, it was a very different story. We were invited with a list of accomplished types, men and women in the journalism and TV, even royalty. We were ushered up to the living room where everyone not around prior to dinner being served and chatted. No drinks were served. You could get one if you asked for one. That should have been the first clue. When the meal was put out downstairs, it was meager. So meager, my wife, the one sitting here next to her, kept mumbling, "Is this it? Is this all we're getting? After I leave, I may have to go to a restaurant." We didn't want to say anything when we came the next time, but my wife did say in that tactful way she has, "There's going to be more food, isn't there?" Under her badgering, the situation gradually improved, and subsequent dinners offered buckets of Chinese food ordered from a local restaurant and placed out on a buffet where one could get in line and help oneself. Illustrious guests often Under continued badgering by my wife, arrangements were made for food to be cooked at home and served. So he's surrounded by pedophiles. He's there with his wife, who he groomed, who was Mia Farrow's adopted daughter, and all he's doing is complaining about the food. That's all. That's all he's doing. Complaining about the damn food. Under continued badgering by my wife, arrangements were made for food to be cooked at home and served. She had to explain the order in which things come out, not the main course and then the appetizer, but the other way around. And these are true pedophiles. Pedophiles don't care about food. They don't care about eating. They care about one thing and one thing only.
Well, that's very interesting.
In the time she bullied him into putting a few flowers in the middle of the table to make it look mildly warm and inviting, this took time and a number of corrections, but his meals have been tweaked into some sense of normal civil dining. The large phone and computer at his right hand does take some of the relaxed home cooking atmosphere out of it, but one can't have everything. Not at Castle Dracula. So anyway, this is the great man that Bill Maher, and you know what's funny? My friend Debbie Booby actually sent me. I got to play this real quick. Sent me this from Alec Baldwin, who I met twice. Here.
This coming Tuesday, the 28th.
I hate his public persona.
The 28th, I think. But this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be doing an Instagram Live at 10:30 Eastern Time.
I hate his Instagram persona. Hate the Baldwins, man. They're disgusting.
Tuesday, the 28th, 10:30 Eastern Time.
Hate him. Hate
I'm
him.
going to be doing an Instagram Live.
Jail. Put him in jail. Hate him. Nope. Prison.
Woody Allen.
Prison. Belongs in prison. Total psychopath. I think at the end here he says, "Great man."
I love you, Woody.
I love you, Woody. Woody, I love you. Woody. I don't care that you eat child pussy, Woody. I love you. I love you so much. Look, he's getting mad at the prosecutor here. Dylan, Woody, and Justice. If I thought, who is Mako, if you thought he was guilty, you bring the case. You don't condemn someone to a life of innuendo and ruin his life. So they act like this is like cancel culture and stuff. That's what they think's going on. And even calls the prosecution, he calls them villains. Pedophiles protect their own. Look, if these people are going dinner with each other all the time, it's for a reason. Because they look after their own. You know what I mean? You don't see me in relationships with pedophiles, do you? You don't see me going to dinner with money grubbing parasites. You don't see me going to dinner with spooks. I'm going to dinner with my family and with my friends. These people are all scumbags, and they're all complicit in the same thing. Complicit in the same thing. They love money. They love power. They admit these things openly. They tell you how they're gonna, fuck you over before they even fuck you over. It's just it's the big vampire club. The big, very good, very good. They're in the big vampire club. That's all it is. So now I have the timestamps here, and sorry to get up on my soapbox about wealthy pedophiles who run the world and media. I'm sorry. Let me get down off the soapbox and chill out real quick. I'm sorry. Sometimes I judge much too quickly. Here we go. He's a great man.
To find a great man is in my home. How are you?
Listen, I'm okay. Everybody's been so nice to me.
What did you expect?
It's such a.
Oh no!
such a-
Let me vomit my love for you right away. Get it off the table.
I hate Woody Allen. I hate him. I don't think he's funny at all. I think some of his movies are good or fine. I don't think he's really moving the needle. I think a lot of people who love to suck off the cock of New York, who think they are as important as the people that made New York great because they simply just exist there and pay rent there. Nobody gives a fuck that you pay rent in New York, by the way. Nobody thinks it's impressive. Don't give a shit. I don't care that you live in a building where, like, William Burroughs got fucked in his ass. I don't care that you live on the block where, like, Lou Reed used to shoot up. Shove it up your fucking ass. I don't care about your stories. I don't care about your brownstones and your bricks and your streets and your hot dogs. I like New York City, but shut the fuck up. I think this guy, because he made a lot of films in New York City, and I'm not saying they were bad. Not saying they were bad. I'm saying that people are mistaking their love of New York for their love of this guy. So they think they have to defend him the way someone in the South might have to defend a Confederate statue. I think that's all it is, honestly. I think Woody Allen is a Confederate statue for the New York elites, for the liberal elites. I think that's what it is. And also, deep down, they're all pedophiles, too. And so, why wouldn't they defend Woody in this time? I hate him. I think he's disgusting. I would love nothing more than for him to be, smeared like butter across the road. He's a pedophile, by the way, because just like Alan Dershowitz, he's living to 150 years old. And he's totally fine. They even talk in this interview about how he doesn't look a day older. Like, he looks great. He looks great for 90. It's because of the adrenochrome. It's because of the baby's blood. It's because of the bathtub of the tears of children that they abuse in satanic rituals. These are Satanists, actually. Let's start calling it what it is. They're Satanists. They worship Satan. They worship the devil. The best case scenario, they just worship themselves, but it's past that. These are Satanists. Satanists exist. They're right in front of us. Here's two talking to each other right now.
From the beginning with the stand-up through the early movies, the middle movies.
So this is my first timestamp here at 2. Here's what's very funny here. What's very funny here is that the beginning of the conversation is just like every other comedy podcast where comedians start talking to each other. They start the conversation talking about the rooms they used to play and the comedians they used to know, which is very funny.
Late movies, the
Were
New
you
Yorker
part of
pieces, the book.
Were you part of the New York comics group, the Bitter End, or any of those places?
Oh, no. I was 5 when that was happening. I mean, I started in the 80s. It was the Improv, the Catch a Rising Star. Do you remember that place?
In New York, though. You were there?
Yeah.
Are you from New
Apologize,
York?
I have
New Jersey?
diaper rash cream on my glasses.
Okay. So you
So
played those same clubs?
Help him get
in
my daughter
Manhattan?
dressed. I'm
That's,
sorry.
Yeah,
I gotta clean these off real good.
My era was the
That's better.
Improv down on 44th and 9th. That started in like 62. That was the earliest one. That was the granddaddy of them all.
It's just back to the old boring. Did you ever play the checkerhead?
In the 80s, it had become a thing, and by the late 80s...
Isn't it funny that they all say they're the most interesting people on earth, comedians, and they all have the exact same conversation with each other? The rooms and everything?
It was a phenomenon. Mid-sized cities had 5 comedy clubs.
Right.
And it just burned itself out after a while. It wasn't like... I mean, when you started, it was just the Bitter End. There was a few clubs and only a few comics. When you started, there was like maybe one new comic every few years. When I was doing it in the 80s, like, their dentists were doing comedy.
Right.
It was just terrible.
Right. Did you play Dangerfield?
Did you play
I
Dangerfield?
lived nearby it, in someone's closet, basically. I lived in the maid's room. Yeah, I had a rent-free situation. Don't even ask. But yeah, Dangerfields. I didn't play it because that was I was too new, and that was a headliner club. I wasn't a headliner yet.
So when you came out here, did you play the Troubadour?
No, that was, I don't remember comics ever playing the Troubadour. I remember comics getting in trouble for being in the audience at the Troubadour. I don't know. That was
Boring.
like, oh, you know, maybe the Smothers Brothers
Boring.
did play there.
Yeah, I think I
Boring.
played the...
Comedy's the most boring thing in the world. It's so funny. You'd think it would be, you know, with these two sitting down, you'd think it'd be a totally different thing, but it's just, I don't know what I was expecting. Really, I truly didn't. No idea what I was expecting there. Let's chug this damn beer. To an eternity of Woody Allen burning in hell. Nice damn chug. If you got a can at home, drink along. Anyway, what were we talking about? What were we talking about? Trains? Oh, we were talking about Woody Allen. We were talking about Woody Allen. I'm sorry, I got off on a... I don't even know how I got there. Jesus. You guys really need to rein me in from time to time.
Okay, well, back then there were, now it's just music, I think.
So, yeah, it's boring. They're just talking about the comedy scene, but I have timestamps here before we have to get out. I feel very manic right now. Let me look at my mechanical wound watch real quick, my Longines. It is 8:07. How long have I been on the air? 4 hours exactly? Okay, so let's do this. Let's see here. Let's keep going. I just don't want to go so long I start getting Charlie horses and stuff and start getting dehydrated because I haven't had dinner or water. I've just been pounding these non-alcoholic beers. Okay, I have 4 more timestamps here. So 1550, they both admit to being pedophiles. This is that Judeo-Christian West I keep hearing about. This is Bill Maher and Woody Allen talking shop, huh? 1550, you want to see them talk about love? It's disgusting. 1550.
That theory that people are small because they don't like a certain thing. You're
No, it's not that I
entitled
don't
to
like it.
I know, but we're all entitled to theory that people.
Okay, so here we go. They're both admitting to being pedophiles here.
No, and that doesn't reflect on the film.
Oh,
or
I know.
anything. It reflects on my own, smallness. I mean,
It doesn't make you small.
I'm sure.
I reject that theory that people are small because they don't like a certain thing. You're
No, it's not that I
entitled
don't
to
like it.
I know, but we're all entitled to enjoy what we want and enjoy our lives the way we want.
But I might enjoy it. But
Right.
I don't give it a chance.
I'm just saying.
Because I don't have...
You don't have to apologize for not watching Nora, and I don't have to apologize for not watching The Bicycle Thief.
It's not that I didn't like it. I
know.
I just haven't seen it. I might love it if I saw it.
And that's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it's okay. I don't watch The Bicycle Thief. Although
I can't figure out why, though.
What's it about?
Even Bill Maher having Woody on, who he loves, obviously it's his hero because he's fucked more children than Bill in his life, probably, and got away with it. Of course, Bill respects him. He's higher up on the satanic ladder. Even Bill's lecturing Woody. He has all this adoration for him. His lifestyle, his career, everything, and still, it's just... You can't let anybody have a point of contention. Everything a guest says is taken out of context. He's constantly repeating himself and his point he's trying to make. Vampires, man. 2 vampires. I can't believe they didn't create a black hole with their words that every child in the world was sucked into at once. The soul of every child. These two start talking, you got to lock your bedroom door, your child's bedroom door, because they're going to run through it like weapons and they're going to run into the Club Random studios like Naruto. They're going to jump right in Woody Allen's lap. Two satanic vampires. I swear to God, man, Hollywood is the darkest place on earth. I love it, but, you know, sometimes you drive through it and you go, man, these hills, you know, the stories where you read Roman Polanski stories and you go, that's like, you know, this is like Nick Jr. Compared to what's probably happened in these hills, compared to what Jared Leto's doing right now, compared to what Bill Maher is tying up currently at 11 in the morning as I'm driving down the 101, it's kid stuff. It's literally kid stuff. Next timestamp is 38. They talk about dying in AI.
Happen for millions.
But the overall theme is, I mean, I will come apart long before the universe. I mean, you know, at the end of this year in December, I'll be 90.
I know.
And I plan on dying in the next few years.
AI could stop that. Would you live forever if AI let you?
You mean, what would they do? Insert a little mechanism in my head, and I would never be experiencing me.
I don't have the blueprints, but AI is doing amazing things. And
that's how you know someone's an idiot, by the way. They just say things like, yeah, AI is doing amazing stuff. He's a complete moron. He's a gas bag. He's a gas bag jackass. He's a pedophilic gas bag jackass. He's a satanic pedophilic gas bag jackass is what he is. And he's smug. And he's a Zionist. And he's atheist, which is how can you be that retarded? That's like working on Wall Street and, being a cynic. Hi, I'm Diogenes. Can I work here at Goldman Sachs? What the fuck are you talking about? You're an atheist Zionist? You fucking moron. You think the Bible's a bunch of junk, but you also think this was promised to them 3,000 years ago? Do you just like the fact that they're like killing and raping over there? Is that the whole thing, Bill?
You just reverse the deterioration of cell damage, which is what kills us. I mean, it's not unreasonable that they could come up with something where you could literally be immortal.
Yeah, yes, but right now they have nothing, and I'm 90.
I know, but I must tell you that, like, there are some people who are, like, unrecognizable from 29 to 89. Like, you look at a picture, like, sometimes they capture, like, a guy who was a...
I don't know why he brings this up. He starts talking about Treblinka for some reason. Here, listen. I mean, they never give up an opportunity to bring it up, but still, this metaphor is bizarre. Listen to this.
Like, you look at a picture, like, sometimes they capture, like, a guy who was a prison guard at a concentration camp, and they show a picture of you when he was, like, 25 as the guard at Treblinka.
Right.
And then now he's been an auto worker for 50 years in Ohio, and he's and he's like, I wasn't this guy. And you kind of know he was, but you look at the pictures like, he just looks so different. You look exactly like Woody Allen. I mean, obviously older, but like completely recognizable.
Well, yeah, I look recognizable, but that can change overnight.
4145. Proof that they are vampires. Again, I come with receipts. I don't just make weird, crazy accusations. I don't do that. I do the homework. 4145.
With advanced medical, knowledge, but I don't.
You're telling me that guy's a pedophile.
There's no way out of this.
Now that you're in California, can't thank you enough for coming here. Get some sun. I know you hate the sun. You know we're solar creatures. We need sun. I
hate the sun. Yeah.
Vampire. I hate the sun. I hate garlic. I hate steaks driving through my heart.
Can't thank you enough for coming here. Get some sun. I know you hate the sun. You know we're solar creatures. We need sun. You need.
I hate the sun. Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
That's how you know
this
someone's
is
a pedophile.
science. We already know. We
They
don't
hate
even
going
need AI to
outside.
know this. We need sun. We're solar people. We need it to convert vitamin D. I mean, look.
A little of it, yeah, but basically it's carcinogenic and
It's not basically.
it's
It's carcinogenic when there's too much of it. Yes, it can be.
and it's unpleasant.
It's how can
course.
sunlight be unpleasant?
No,
it's like
You're a
the
pedophile
ultimate,
vampire.
and ugly.
I know, but it's like the ultimate metaphor in song and poetry
You're a
for
pedophile.
happy and
You're
good.
both
Like the
pedophiles.
sun came out is a metaphor for
I
good.
don't
both
see it
Zionist
that way when I
pedophiles.
get up in the morning and
I
open
know.
the blinds. If
I
it's
know.
a gray, misty...
You're the definition of Satanism. You want to kill children and have sex with them. But you both things. You support both things. Both of you. Both of you do. Hang them. Hang
No
them.
two ways about it.
Hang them. We got to hang them.
We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you.
It keeps making me.
No two ways about it.
We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you. You guys know what video I'm even playing? It's, I haven't been able to find the original. Like what it's from. Where the hell did it go? I have it in my bookmarks here. Hold on. Oh, this right here. Because I've seen it before.
Well, that's very interesting. We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you. No two ways about it. Well, that's very interesting.
God, that rules. I don't know what it's from. I don't know what it's from. I'll admit, I even asked Grok. Grok didn't know. Grok thought it was from these videos on YouTube called The Angry Grandpa. I'm like, you're so fucking stupid. Grok's worthless. Worthless Grok. Worthless, pathetic, shitty Grok. The last thing I wanted to see, and I had to run to the P.O. box, so I didn't get to watch this, so we're going to watch this together here, is we're going to listen to Bill Maher, because I got through this Bob Hope section. We are going to get to... oh, it's just a regular-ass camera? I guess I'm retarded. I have pictures of me and Jace from the 90s. They don't look that dreamy. Looks very Twin Peaksy to me. But it's possible I'm projecting. This is... I only got through the Bob Hope stuff. Now we're going to listen to them talk about childhood, marriage. That one's a very quick segment. And then talk about Me Too versus cancel culture. This is what I really want to see. Right here, these 10 minutes. Vampire chat. Vampire versus vampire.
I've been a very happy, sweet, nice, good-natured person, but I turned out to be misanthropic, neurotic, hypochondriacal, depressed. I don't know why.
But not bad to other humans.
No.
Okay, I mean, a misanthrope.
Doesn't trust them, doesn't like them. But I'm not bad to
Yes.
them. I'm not cruel or anything. I'm nice to people.
No,
I don't like them. I don't.
Right. You say in the book you don't like meeting new people.
No, I don't.
And you don't like to be wherever you are.
Right. I'm
So welcome.
Chronically unhappy, chronically dissatisfied.
You must be miserable right
chronically unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Yorker syndrome.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe
Yeah.
it is. Maybe, someone standing outside looking at New York would say, there's millions of people that live here, and a good portion of them have that syndrome.
But you also have wondrous things in your life. I mean, okay, your parents had a marriage that was out of spite, but the way you describe your marriage, completely idyllic.
It is.
Just sucking off the small Jewish pedophile cock of Woody Allen. It's even too far for Maher. But this is what he does. It's this whole thing of like, I don't know why. Like the what's left of the intellectual dark web loves to do this, where they think it's hilarious if they just take a picture with someone who's very controversial. I don't know why they think this is so funny. Like, oh, here's a picture of me with like Casey Anthony or something. It's like, is that funny? The lady who let her kid die in the car? Am I supposed to laugh because the kid ran out of oxygen and couldn't draw more breath? I don't really get it. Why is taking a picture with Casey Anthony funny? What's funny about that? Bill does the same thing where, you know, he was sucking off Trump 3 months ago, and he loves doing that and hanging out with controversial people. As soon as Woody walks in, he makes the point to say, you're a great man. What a good, great man you are. Something he doesn't say to anybody. He's only saying that to get a rise out of people. I'm not falling for that bait. I'm not falling for that bait, okay? I'm not getting pissed off about that. I know what he's doing. Bill, I mean, why would I get mad? I know Bill doesn't care about child abuse. He abuses children as a hobby. Everybody has hobbies. You might go play basketball. Maybe you surf. You got train sets, and this guy. All he does is he beats the fuck out of little girls. What Bill does is he honks the horn on Sunset Boulevard, and he goes, "Hey, honey, you got anybody under 18?" Hey, honey, Hannah, you don't happen to have a daughter, do you? Anyway.
This is great. I looked out.
Right.
I mean, his idea, the idea of heaven for these two right here is just a field of child brides. That's their idea of heaven. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying.
Completely.
Okay. I mean, you say, you know, you eat every meal together.
Yeah.
I mean, and this has been going on for 30 years, basically.
We've been married for about 30 years, yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
It is amazing, though, the way the media gets stuff very often, not just wrong, but like diametrically wrong.
But just sucking off the marriage to Mia Farrow, her adopted daughter that he like basically groomed. It's just like, not to just, you know, ignore it or whatever, but to pray. What a strong Bill Maher, who doesn't believe in the sanctity of marriage, praising Woody for his strong relationship and marriage to Soon-Yi. Dude, why don't you just take your pants down, Bill, and start doing tricks on it? This guy doesn't believe in anything. He'll start going off on a show that Israel was promised to Jews 3,000 years ago. He doesn't believe in the fucking Bible. He doesn't believe in the sanctity of marriage. Now he's telling Woody he is a great... Shut the fuck up. When I saw him at Mel's Diner 2 months ago, with a lot of people who were in this Discord who came after the Cringe show, I should have slapped the fuck out of him. That's what I should have done. I should have assaulted him and went to jail.
We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you.
Get stuff very often, not just wrong, but like diametrically wrong. Like, and I know from things they've written about me, when you read about yourself, what you say to yourself is, wait, this is the one subject I know really well. Me. I know what I said.
Bill, do you not understand the concept of blind spots? Bill, I know it's who you think about all the time, but you have no self-awareness. Actually, thinking of yourself all the time is the key to lacking self-awareness. It's actually the opposite. You actually learn more about yourself by developing friendships with other people and interacting with the world. That is your interface for understanding yourself through reading, consuming art, building friendships, family, stuff like that. It's not by smoking fucking weed and getting whores. You regressive, big-nosed cunt.
You know what I do.
Sure.
So, like, if I'm reading about me and it has no relation to reality, how can I trust what you're saying about anything. Iran, plastics, fucking.
I've asked that question at times in show business, that I would see things that his movie is based on this, or he's doing a book about this, and
Pedophile.
it's completely untrue. And I think to myself, okay, these are trivial things. I'm not doing a movie about that. I didn't get the idea for this movie from
Pedophile.
that. So what must be going on in when they talk about wars and
You're a pedophile.
taxes and the government? And I asked a journalist that once, and he said, well, it's different. They're not as scrupulous on the show business stories. He said when
Pedophile.
it comes to the serious things, they are more accurate and they do try harder. When it comes to the show business stories, they don't have the same level of.
I'm not sure I'm not sure I have your confidence in that part of it either. I mean, you're a lot calmer than I would be if I had been in your situation with. I mean, you say you're disillusioned with
You're
liberals.
a pedophile.
I'll bet, but. Like the last 10 pages, you kind of finally ride. It's awesome. You kind of, but even then, it's done in such a particular and professional way. It never gets nasty. It sticks to what you can prove, basically. But
yeah, I'm not nasty by nature.
no, but you have, but the disillusion. I mean, look, you did a movie. You again lent yourself out as an actor, which you don't do a lot. For the Blacklist, I mean the front.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you must have. I know you did notice the sort of recapitulation of the witch hunt. I mean, obviously that was about the witch hunting communists. To then what happened to you? And I mean, I'm hardly been the first one to notice that the kind of moralizing that we used to hate from the right.
Bill Maher's he's a cancer. He's an absolute cancer. And what's weird, you know why he hates religious people is because of their binary thinking, and he's projecting. It's a massive projection because he puts everything into this left, into this right, and then he mocks the people that puts everything into the left, into the right. He plays both sides. He's the classic comedian where he's always flip-flopping. He doesn't believe in anything except making money and making a name for himself and continuing his brand. When it's convenient for him to do moral posturing, he does that. When it's convenient for him to just say he's a comedian and he's joking around, he does that. These people are all opportunists. That's what all of these comics are. They never believe in anything consistently. From week to week, they disagree with the last thing they said, and that's by design. Because the people they pissed off last week, they want them tuning in this week and being happy. It's also the way to have an abusive relationship with someone and string them along further than they should be. They don't believe in anything except making an insane amount of money. And when people are only interested in money and power, often they are interested in money and power because that money and power can get them things. And usually those things are illicit materials, things that are illegal and everything. That's just how it is. That's how it is. That's how the world works. People that want power and want money, they want it because usually they want something. They want to have that kind of leverage and opportunity to get what they want and get away with it. So
that then went to the. I mean, you have a great line about. Like, it became the thing
these
to
are the
do,
tough truths.
Not to work with me the way, suddenly people wanted kale.
Yes. But it amused me because it didn't.
That's awesome.
It didn't have any as a practical thing. It was not hurtful to me.
Oh, come on! Yes, it was.
Well,
I mean, it should.
No, it wasn't. As I'm talking about, as a practical matter, I was, as I say, I was in my 80s, and I had made so many movies, and it didn't matter. It didn't hurt me. If I was 30 or 40, it would have been career-ending.
But disillusionment.
But it wasn't. My
come
career
on.
was was, you know.
Disillusionment is disillusionment at any age. I mean, you must. I know you said in the book you were disillusioned at the justice system. I thought that was fascinating. You said, like,
Heidecker office
I
hours
was
is
so
great.
naive. I thought there was a penalty for perjury.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
you're shocked because most people don't find themselves in a situation in a courtroom, and you're in a courtroom and people are perjuring themselves one after the other, and you think, well, isn't this against the law? But you find out that it
Now
isn't.
start
exactly
talking about
what you
Derek
think.
Chauvin's perjury.
Yes, it's against the law technically, but nobody does anything about it. It was
When
a
you
very
get-
interesting. I found the whole thing an interesting and amusing experience in many ways, and only because I had already, as I said, done so many movies and had accumulated enough personal financial resources so that I wasn't hurt by it. But if I was 40 or 50 or 30 or something, it would have been very, very painful. But at the point that it happened,
But you're still.
it just wasn't.
You're
and,
still
and I'm
getting-
not nasty.
I mean, I remember
So he's
once
scratching his face. That's his tell. He's lying.
I got a DUI,
Liar.
which is not nearly what you went through. But, they
So
make
Bill
it
goes, okay, now my turn.
go through a 14-week program and go to AA meetings, and like you are entrapped into the criminal justice system again at a very low level. But even at that level, I was like, whoa, this is awful. I mean, first of all, there's a lot of people who love it that they just have complete power over you and whatever you do, because now you're in the system. This system, it gives you a great insight
I'm all out of
into
beer.
what it must be like,
I have 5 beers.
for
well, no.
Black Americans
I wasn't
who are at the
really-
shitty end of the
Come
justice
on.
system for their whole
Yes,
existence.
but I was
on.
lucky because
No, I am saying it,
wasn't,
but it gives you an insight when
Come
you see
on.
the justice system up close.
Yes.
You feel like a black kid who goes to jail because he had a little bit of weed on him. That's what you feel like. First of all, he didn't even go to jail. He also had countless resources for why am I even arguing with he's a shithead. He's a pedophilic, vampiric gas bag Zionist. I'll call him a Zionist. I'll say it. I'll say Bill Maher's a Zionist. He's a
It's
Zionist.
sobering.
I'm
Right,
not afraid to say he's a Zionist in addition to saying he's a satanic pedophile.
But fortunately, I was never really in the system because I was never charged.
Of course
with,
you were. There were 2 police investigations.
Yes, but I was never charged with anything. I was found.
I know, but
You
that
know,
would
it
make
was
me.
found that nothing ever happened
I know,
in
but-
both investigations. So I never really suffered as much as you
I
might
would've-
think. But I will say it was fortunate. It came at a fortunate time in my life because I didn't have to worry about money and I didn't have to worry about making films. I made them and
Well, you were much younger when those 2 police investigations were going on. I would be shitting in my pants if the police were investigating me.
Not if if you're innocent.
Yeah, except innocent people sometimes don't get. I mean, humans are making these judgment calls, and we know what we think of humans.
I don't think much of humans, but I do have great faith in
Vampire.
evidence. So
Vampire.
I never for a second had
Wow.
a bad moment because I felt it was kind of amusing to turn on the television set and see people talking about it when I knew what the situation was. And
So you have no bitterness toward the people who renounced you. I mean, there are some people who defended you, like Scarlett Johansson and, well, me, but I'm not in movies. Alec Baldwin. All your
No, they were
ex-lovers.
No,
Diane Keaton.
These are people that just made a mistake.
Who?
I'm not criticizing them.
The renouncers?
They think or thought, whatever the occasion was, that they were doing the right thing, but they were not.
No, they didn't. They're cowards. Are you kidding?
they were
Timothy
making-
Chalamet, look, he's a great actor. I'm not trying to pick a fight with him, not that he would care. But, I saw him on his campaign for the Dylan movie, which he was incredible in. But this boy wants an Oscar more than his next breath. He'd throw his mother under the bus, okay? So I can't, like, quite sit back as well as you can
Shut
with
up,
this
Bill.
equanimity and say, oh, that, or Greta Gerwig, who renounced you, and, oh, I'm so sorry I worked with him. Okay, you know, she's a big movie director.
They're making a mistake. They're you know, they're not. First of all, I've had a good time working with both of them, and they think that they're doing something honorable or helpful, but they're not. They guessed wrong. They made a wrong decision on that.
Guessed.
Someday, maybe they'll realize it. Maybe it will be clear to them for whatever reason. Maybe it never will be. But that's all that they've done is made a mistake.
They're such sheep. You know, it's like, look, the press loves to anoint people. You were anointed for a long time. You were the most anointed person. I mean, the New York Times was always, I mean, you were the greatest thing ever. And you were making great movies.
The issue was it never resonated with me. So I just worked and did my movies, and the marriage was great. And, you know, I mean, it hasn't had a practical impact.
You'd be alarmed, by the way, how many people out there are Michael Jackson truthers. There's truthers for all this stuff, so, you know, they can all sort of retreat to their community.
You made a movie recently.
You know.
Can we, is that it?
Well, I've written a novel recently.
People see television more. When you do a movie and it goes right to streaming, who cares? Who cares if you make them go to the movie theater? If they see it in their home, isn't it more important?
I don't know. I grew up in making movies, and they went into movie theaters.
Anyway, now it's the theaters versus streaming, like the most boring conversation of all time. But yeah, that's two vampires. You know, I'm sure they had a nice chat. They went home to their catamites that they have chained up somewhere. Or I guess a catamite is only a boy. What's a female catamite?
My chain, my chain, my chain, my chain. Don't you like my chain?